The deadliest animals in history evolved claws, speed, venom, and sharp intelligence. Evolution usually rewards aggression. Hunt or be hunted. Kill or disappear. But millions of years ago, evolution did something strange. It created a creature so large that survival no longer depended on violence at all. Imagine standing in ancient South America 95 million years ago. The air feels heavy and warm. Forests stretch endlessly toward the horizon. Then the ground begins to shake beneath your feet. Not from an earthquake, from footsteps. Slow, deep, rhythmic. Something enormous moves through the trees, taller than buildings, longer than a city bus convoy. Birds scatter. Smaller dinosaurs move aside. Nothing challenges it. Nothing attacks. Because this animal does not need to fight to survive. This was Argentinosaurus, possibly the largest land animal to ever exist. In 1987, a ranch worker named Guillermo Heredia was walking across dry land in Neuquén, Argentina. The landscape looked ordinary, rock, dust, and wind carving the ground. Then he nearly tripped over something sticking out of the soil. At first, it looked like fossilized wood. Petrified logs were common there. But this object felt wrong. Too smooth. Too massive. He reported it, and paleontologists soon arrived. When they uncovered the object, the team froze in disbelief. It was a vertebra, a single bone from a dinosaur's spine, taller than a human adult. One bone suggested an animal beyond known limits. From only fragments, scientists realized they were facing something unprecedented. Argentinosaurus belonged to a group called sauropods, long-necked herbivores known for large size. But Argentinosaurus pushed that body plan to an extreme never seen before. Estimates suggest it stretched over 100 feet long and weighed up to 100 tons. That is heavier than a fully loaded passenger airplane. And immediately, scientists faced a question more shocking than its size. How did physics allow this animal to exist at all? Gravity punishes mass. The bigger an animal becomes, the harder survival gets. Bones break easier under pressure. Hearts struggle to pump blood. Movement becomes dangerous. Every biological rule seemed to argue against a giant like this. Yet Argentinosaurus walked the earth successfully for millions of years. Instead of evolving weapons, it evolved presence. Instead of speed, stability. Instead of killing, it simply became too large to threaten. And this raises a deeper mystery. Evolution normally removes inefficient designs quickly. Weak adaptations disappear. Dangerous traits vanish. But Argentinosaurus was not removed. It thrived. Entire ecosystems adapted around it. Predators avoided it. Landscapes changed because of it. Somehow, nature built a living mountain and allowed it to survive. To understand how, scientists had to rethink everything they believed about limits, the limits of size, biology, and survival itself. The first problem Argentinosaurus faced was circulation. A body stretching more than 30 meters long cannot function with ordinary biology. Blood must travel enormous distances. In humans, the heart pushes blood only a short distance upward to the brain. Even giraffes struggle. Their hearts generate extreme pressure just to supply oxygen to their elevated heads. Argentinosaurus likely carried a neck twice that challenge. If its circulatory system worked like ours, it would collapse instantly. Scientists believe evolution redesigned the system entirely. Some theories suggest extremely powerful heart muscle supported by elastic arteries capable of storing pressure between beats. Others propose that Argentinosaurus rarely raised its head vertically and instead fed across wide horizontal ranges, reducing stress on circulation. Either way, survival required biological innovation far beyond standard mammal anatomy. Breathing presented an even greater obstacle. A 70-ton animal requires enormous oxygen intake. Traditional lungs would not deliver enough air efficiently. Fortunately, sauropods inherited a solution still seen in modern birds. Argentinosaurus likely possessed air sacs connected throughout its body, allowing oxygen to flow continuously in one direction rather than stopping between breaths. Every inhale and exhale moved fresh oxygen through the lungs. This system increased efficiency dramatically while also reducing body weight. Fossil bones reveal internal air cavities, meaning much of its massive skeleton was hollow. The giant was not a solid block of bone but a lightweight framework designed for scale. Then comes growth, perhaps the most astonishing challenge of all. Argentinosaurus began life inside an egg no larger than a basketball. From something small enough to carry by hand emerged an animal heavier than multiple elephants combined. Fossil growth rings inside sauropod bones reveal extraordinary development rates. During adolescence, Argentinosaurus may have gained nearly 100 pounds every day. Growth at that speed was not optional. Remaining small meant vulnerability to predators. Rapid expansion was its shield. Size itself became the survival strategy. Feeding such growth required constant eating. Argentinosaurus possessed a surprisingly small head compared to its enormous body. Instead of chewing food thoroughly, it stripped vegetation and swallowed it whole. Inside its abdomen, a massive digestive chamber fermented plant material slowly. Some scientists believe it swallowed stones, called gastroliths, which helped grind vegetation internally. Rather than investing energy in complex chewing muscles, evolution prioritized digestive efficiency. The long neck allowed feeding across wide areas without moving the heavy body often, conserving precious energy. Each adaptation reveals the same pattern. Argentinosaurus was not built for speed or combat. It was engineered for efficiency. Lightweight bones, efficient breathing, constant feeding, and rapid growth formed a system perfectly tuned to one goal: becoming too large to fail. Evolution had turned survival into engineering, assembling biological solutions piece by piece until a walking ecosystem emerged from natural selection. 95 million years ago, Patagonia looked nothing like today's dry landscapes. Warm temperatures, abundant rainfall, and dense vegetation covered the region. Ferns, conifers, and early flowering plants formed endless feeding grounds. Rivers cut through forests, creating fertile environments capable of supporting enormous herbivores. Argentinosaurus did not survive by accident, it existed because its world could sustain giants. But abundance also attracted danger. Large predators evolved alongside these herbivores, creating ecosystems filled with tension. One of the most feared carnivores sharing this habitat was Mapiosaurus, a massive theropod nearly 40 feet long. Fossil evidence suggests multiple individuals were found together, hinting at cooperative hunting behavior. A single predator attacking an adult Argentinosaurus would have been nearly suicidal. The giant's legs alone could crush an attacker instantly. Its tail, swung with enough force, could break bones or deter pursuit. For predators, the risk outweighed the reward. Adult Argentinosaurus individuals effectively lived beyond the normal predator-prey relationship. However, survival looked very different at the beginning of life. Hatchlings emerged small, fragile, and defenseless. Nesting sites discovered across South America show large colonies containing many eggs at once. The strategy resembled modern sea turtles: produce many offspring, accept heavy losses, and rely on rapid growth for long-term survival. Predators likely targeted young individuals frequently. Only a small percentage survived long enough to achieve safety through size. As herds moved across the landscape, they transformed environments dramatically. Their immense weight flattened vegetation, creating migration paths used by smaller animals. Massive dropping spread nutrients and seeds across wide regions, encouraging plant growth. In effect, Argentinosaurus acted as an ecosystem engineer. Modern elephants reshape environments today, but these dinosaurs operated on a scale far beyond anything alive now. Entire forests may have evolved around their movement patterns. Yet size introduced hidden challenges. One major issue was temperature regulation. Large bodies retain heat efficiently, which becomes dangerous in warm climates. Argentinosaurus likely depended on slow movement, shade, and proximity to water sources to manage internal temperature. The long neck and tail increased surface area, allowing heat exchange with surrounding air. By moving steadily rather than quickly, it avoided overheating. Its lifestyle prioritized energy conservation over speed or aggression. Scientists also question how such a massive animal coordinated movement. Nerve signals traveling from tail to brain would require noticeable time. Evidence suggests sauropods possessed enlarged nerve centers near their hips, functioning like local control hubs for movement and balance. This distributed nervous system reduced reaction delays and allowed smooth walking despite enormous body size. Argentinosaurus was not clumsy. It moved with slow confidence, each step calculated by millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Through cooperation between environment, biology, and behavior, the giant maintained dominance without violence. Survival did not require becoming the strongest predator. Instead, Argentinosaurus rewrote the rules entirely. By the late Cretaceous, Argentinosaurus represented one of evolution's greatest experiments. Life on land had never reached such size before, and since then, it never has again. This raises an unavoidable question: why did evolution stop there? Why didn't animals continue growing larger forever? The answer lies in physics. As animals increase in size, weight grows faster than bone strength. Muscles must support exponentially greater mass, while movement becomes increasingly risky. Eventually, legs would collapse under pressure. Argentinosaurus lived dangerously close to this biological ceiling. Its limb bones were enormous pillars designed to distribute weight efficiently. The femur alone required multiple people to move when discovered as a fossil. Yet despite their thickness, these bones still contained internal structures reducing unnecessary mass. Evolution balanced strength and lightness with remarkable precision. One small change in density or posture could have made walking impossible. Argentinosaurus existed at the narrow boundary where biology and physics barely agreed. Movement speed also reveals this balance. Computer simulations based on fossil anatomy suggest Argentinosaurus walked at roughly 5 miles per hour, similar to a fast human jog. Running faster would risk catastrophic injury. But speed was unnecessary. Few predators would challenge such a massive animal. Energy efficiency mattered more than mobility. Every adaptation focused on maintaining stability rather than maximizing performance. Scientists sometimes describe Argentinosaurus as a perfect storm of conditions. The climate provided abundant plant life. Atmospheric oxygen levels supported large body sizes. Predator pressures encouraged rapid growth. Respiratory adaptations reduced weight. Digestive efficiency supplied continuous energy. Remove any one of these factors, and the giant might never have evolved. Evolution did not plan this outcome, it stumbled into it through countless small changes accumulating over millions of years. Then came the discovery of another contender. In 2014, researchers uncovered fossils of Patagotitan mayorum, another enormous titanosaur from Patagonia. With more complete remains, some scientists argue it may rival or surpass Argentinosaurus in size. The debate continues today because fossil records remain incomplete. Both animals represent the pinnacle of terrestrial gigantism, a class of life unmatched before or since. Yet even giants remain vulnerable to planetary change. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid approximately 6 miles wide struck Earth near present-day Mexico. The impact triggered global fires, darkness, and collapsing ecosystems. Plants died as sunlight disappeared. Herbivores starved. Predators soon followed. Size, once an advantage, became a fatal weakness. Massive animals required enormous food supplies, and when those vanished, survival became impossible. Argentinosaurus did not fail evolution. Evolution's environment changed faster than adaptation could respond. The world that allowed giants simply vanished. When people imagine prehistoric success, they often picture predators, teeth, claws, and violent dominance. Yet Argentinosaurus tells a different story. For millions of years, the most successful land animal was not a hunter but a peaceful giant. Its survival strategy challenged assumptions about evolution itself. Strength did not come from aggression. Power came from scale, efficiency, and patience. Argentinosaurus transformed ecosystems without fighting for territory. Its presence alone shaped behavior around it. Smaller animals moved aside. Predators reconsidered attacks. Entire food webs adjusted to accommodate its existence. It demonstrated that evolution sometimes rewards stability over competition. Instead of becoming faster or smarter predators, some species survive by becoming untouchable. The disappearance of Argentinosaurus marks more than extinction. It represents the closing of a unique evolutionary window. Conditions allowing such giants may never return. Today's land animals remain far smaller because ecosystems, climate, and available resources differ dramatically from the Cretaceous world. The age of walking mountains has ended. Yet traces remain. Modern birds carry respiratory systems inherited from ancient dinosaurs. Fossilized bones remind scientists how close life once came to surpassing physical limits. Each discovery forces researchers to rethink what biology can achieve. Argentinosaurus stands as evidence that nature occasionally pushes experimentation to extraordinary extremes. Imagine the sound of a herd crossing ancient plains. Ground trembling, trees swaying, shadows stretching across rivers at sunset. These animals lived entire lives without needing to fight for dominance. They simply grew beyond conflict. Evolution allowed peace through size, a concept rarely repeated in natural history. Today, museums display reconstructed skeletons, towering over visitors who struggle to comprehend the scale. Children stare upward, trying to imagine a living animal behind the bones. Scientists continue debating measurements, weight estimates, and behavior. But one truth remains unchanged: Argentinosaurus represents the maximum ambition of life on land. It teaches a quiet lesson. Survival is not always about winning battles. Sometimes survival means changing the game entirely. Instead of adapting to danger, Argentinosaurus became larger than danger itself. And somewhere in deep time, under warm Cretaceous skies, a living mountain walked slowly through forests, breathing calmly, eating endlessly, existing at the very edge of possibility, proof that evolution, for a brief moment, chose creation over destruction.